It's week 4 of the 2022 season, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Dolphins and the Browns, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Miami Dolphins. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. We're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should. And what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken just shy of the 10. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And for all the collegiate success he had, highest passer efficiency rating by a mile, he's a guy who's had his share of detractors at the professional level, but I do like his poise, I do like his moxie, and I love his accuracy.
First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Tua. Gets this one to Hill. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Let's do this. Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Safety Grant Delpit up to make the play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Tua sets up to pass it. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. First down and a little extra for Mostert. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep a string of good games going right here.
On first down, it's Watson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35.
Ooh, Lord have mercy.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air. Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken from about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Tagovailoa, and the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17. Another try after the first down sack. Tua. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Chubb will have the first down and much more.
It's over.
And
It's over.
all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then...
Evades the tackler and now some space. The 20. Touchdown Dolphins. Tyreek Hill. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. I think you can make a fair case for Tyreek Hill being the most explosive player in the NFL when he gets his hands on the football, and that was Exhibit A.
And sometimes you see big plays develop on a route like this, a slant route, and the object, very simple. Get the ball to your receiver in stride. This one was right on the money. He didn't miss a beat, and then it's off to the races, and there he goes.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
Let's go.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
43's the mic. 43's the mic. I got him.
Watson on first down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics. Well, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. Bryant with a catch right side. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss. So this defense, they gave up some yards on this drive, but bottom line, they came up with a sack when it mattered.
And we know that every down counts, but let's be honest about it. People focus on 3rd down as a real key down in any drive, any situation, and they took full advantage of 3rd down there and made a play.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Noah Igbenogany from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. There was a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Browns will take over possession here up at the 44. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 88 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Steps away to his left. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
What was that, ref?
And they get Jack Conklin there, the right tackle. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds him. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense back out on the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. He's already approaching 100 yards and has the touchdown. I'm sure on that opposite sideline right now, they're scratching their heads saying, all right, what do we do?
And the hard part is, even if you limit him to a short catch, he has that make-you-miss ability to take it for big yardage and put in the end zone again. So trying to blanket him is very difficult, but ultimately, you've got to find a way to put him on the ground, tackle him, and he doesn't make that easy.
They're struggling with that so far. He'll buy some time right. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper as the first half is winding down. And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's a...
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And they really won't have much time to work with, just 19 seconds showing on the clock. 19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And the linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
Here we go. Here we go.
So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And that one getting close to halftime with the Falcons out in front. Auden Tate, a touchdown reception. From there, we head up to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. DJ Chark, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Chris Carson has a touchdown run. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Miami in that first half. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half. Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland, and to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it a second down. Watson now to throw. They set up the screen to Chubb. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Kevin Stefanski going to take a chance going for it on 4th. They'll run for it. Chubb. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They'll try the air now with Watson. Flushed out right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That one brought back a few nightmares because when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you for a big play. A nice job there having discipline and not letting them.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Browns. Amari Cooper. His 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Let's go!
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Tua. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Kevin Stefanski consulted with his guys above, and they've told him throw that challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So for Kevin Stefanski, a smart decision to throw the flag. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And Chubb fighting, but nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped short of that 1st down marker. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 4th down, Watson dancing to his left. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a 1st down.
A give running right is Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Watson forced out to his left. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson rolling to his right. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Throwing now, Watson, flush to his right. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson sliding out of the pocket. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And his kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Igbenogany elects not to return, and the football will come out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. Meanwhile, Tua's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the third time. Picked off by John Johnson. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. As a quarterback, Charles, you have to imagine that he knew that heat was coming there on that snap. And this time, the pressure forces him into an interception.
Absolutely he knew. And maybe that's a spot in other parts of the game. He's going to think about just throwing that one away. But down late in the fourth quarter, he has no choice, no luxury. He's got to try and make a play. And even with that pressure around him, he tried to complete it downfield to no avail.
And Watson's going to throw it here. Being chased out left. Looking left side, and it's complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. To throw is Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. Buying time to his left. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. One final try for Tagovailoa. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for Cleveland, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll look to get back on track next